Good morning. My name is Kurt Garfield, pastor of the Scipio Baptist Church. And I just first of all want to thank all of you this morning for your prayers and your supports. And I want to encourage you and to reassure you that God has a plan for your life. Something happened to me the other day to remind me that God is still in control and God can see where we can't. The other day, I had to go and visit a specialist in St. Louis, Missouri. And normally, whenever I take long trips like that, I always go and reserve a rental car as to not to put so many miles on my own car. Well, I reserved a little small gas saver, compact gas saver, and when I got there to pick up the vehicle, I noticed it was a large truck. She says, "This is all we have is a large truck." And I began to get frustrated. I'm like, I have a truck if I wanted to drive that, something that large. But she was telling me that there's nothing that's coming in right now that is, compatible to what you reserved. Well, I took the truck. I was kind of frustrated, but I took the truck and proceeded on because, it's a good 8-hour trip. And as we began to journey towards St. Louis, Missouri, we began to encounter some snow, some rain, some ice that we didn't see in the forecast. And people were beginning to slip off the road, one place and another, and big pile-ups along the interstate, where we are often rerouted off the interstate through back roads in order to continue our journey. And one of the things that my wife said, she says, "Man, I wish we had a 4-wheel drive." And I looked down at this truck on the dash, and I'm like, wow, this truck is a 4-wheel drive. And so we engaged the 4-wheel drive, and all was well. The truck pulled great. It pulled through the snow where other people were slipping out on the side of the roads. We were able to make our trip successfully. And that just lets me know that God has a plan. And sometimes, even though His plan is not our plan, which it should be, it lets me know that God is still looking out for you and I. And that also kind of brings me to my studies this morning, coming out of Genesis 12. It lets me know that God has a plan. Our plan has a purpose, and it also comes with a promise. For those of you, I just want to just read just a little bit of that this morning. It's Genesis 12. God told Abram, He says, 12:1, it says, "Now the Lord said to Abram, get out of your country and from your father's house to the land that I will show you." That lets me know that God is calling Abram out for a reason. In other words, He has a plan for Abram's life. He says, "I need you to do something." And Abram was 75 years old when this happened. So that lets me know that no matter how old we are, God still has a plan. He told him, He says, "Get to the land that I will show you." He says, "And I will make you a great nation." He said, "Not only do I have a plan, but I have a purpose. I will make you a great nation. And part of that purpose, he says, and in you all the families of the earth will be blessed. He says, this is your purpose. This is your purpose. So I have a plan for you, but I have a purpose behind it. I don't just do things just to be doing it. I have a purpose. And not only is there a purpose, he says, there is a promise that comes with it. And he says, and I will make you a great nation. He says, and I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. He says, so you're going to be blessed along the way, my son. So let me tell you something. A lot of us, we may get frustrated because we say, well, Pastor, here's the thing. Watching everybody else get blessed and watching everybody else, and I understand that. It gets frustrating. Seems like everybody else is being blessed. Everybody else is advancing through life. Everybody else has gotten married and you still stuck home with the cat. And everybody else has job careers and you still looking for a job. Everybody bought new homes, bought new cars, and you still riding around in that hoopty. I understand that. People has families and children. It almost appears as if God has favorites, don't it? Right? Yeah, I understand. Why is he overlooking me? Can I say this? Just because your blessings doesn't appear at the same time as everybody else's does, it does not mean that God does not have a plan for your life. And it comes with a purpose, and it is sealed with a promise. So just because it doesn't show up when everybody else's does, be patient. Wait on God. Trust him. But Pastor, it's taking too long. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Abraham had to wait on his promise. He had to wait on his promise. And to the point that even his wife Sarai, she got tired of waiting. And that's when, if you continued reading, they came up with an Ishmael. Sometimes when we get tired of waiting, we want to just say, okay, God, you gave me your plan, you gave me the purpose, but where's the promise? And sometimes we do things ahead of God. So wait on God. Wait on God. And I promise you, when God's plan, purpose, and promise is revealed in your life, it will be the greatest plan that any plan you can ever imagine for yourself. My name is Kurt Garfield, pastor of the Scipio Baptist Church. I want to say God bless you and God keep you until we meet again.